guys, how do you do? This is Karen Adamski with shamamama.com, and today I'd like to talk about rock divination. Most people, when I bring up rock divination, they don't know what it is, so I thought this would be a good blog topic. So divination in general, I'll start there. Divination is, a good definition would be finding answers or finding information in a non-traditional way. So it might be using dowsing rods or tea leaves or looking at the clouds, going to a psychic, or using cards. It could be a number of different things. I'm sure there's hundreds and hundreds of different forms of divination. One of them being rock divination. And usually I don't do rock divination for myself so much. I usually find answers for myself in other ways. So typically when I'm doing rock divination, it's for a client. And the first thing that I need would be a question from that client. And it needs to be a meaningful question just from an ethics standpoint, and a question about that person themselves. You know, you can't, well, you can, but it's not good practice to ask a question about somebody else's business because it's really none of our beeswax. So, the question needs to be about you, yourself, and living a better life, whatever that might be. So, once you have the question, I'll sit down and meditate. This is something you can do for yourself too. So as I'm saying, I do this, I do that, just know that you yourself can try doing this same exact thing and find answers for yourself. Chances are you probably will. But once I have that question from a client, then I will sit down, I'll meditate for a bit with that question in mind, with that client in mind, and then when the time is right, and you usually kind of feel it, I'll go out into nature with my rattle. You don't have to go out to nature with a rattle. You can just go find a rock, and that's okay. Personally, I like my rattle helps me find the right rock. So once you're out in nature, it can be a rural setting, it can be an urban setting, it doesn't matter. Just someplace where you can find a rock. It could be a pebble, it could be a boulder, it could be a pretty rock, it could be an ugly rock. It really doesn't matter. What matters is that it's a rock that you feel drawn to, a rock that you feel a pull toward. When you feel that, you'll know that that is the right rock for you. So you can either just sit right down there and work with the rock, or you can bring it back with you. If you do bring it back with you, just make sure you bring the rock back and place it where you found it. But I was taught to do rock divination in 8 scans. So I'm using this rock as an example. So you'll do 4 scans on one side, and then you turn it around and do 4 scans on the other side. So in a scan, what you're doing is just sort of gazing into the rock, looking at the rock, and in kind of a meditative state of mind, you'll start to see things. You know, like when you're laying down on the grass with a friend, you know, when you're a kid and you look up at the sky, it's like, oh, I see a dragon, oh, I see a turtle, or I see a hippo eating the turtle, or whatever it might be. That's divination, really. You're doing the same kind of a thing with the rock. And like just glancing at this right here, I see like an angry man's face. But I don't know if you can see that. That's kind of the beauty of rock divination, and really of shamanism in general. The beauty of it is that there's no real right or wrong way. It's what works for you. So what might work for me might not work for you. What I might see in this rock, you may not see. You may see something totally different. But the message that you get, chances are, is the message that you need to be hearing. So typically when I'll do a divination for a client, I will do the 8 scans, and then I will report the information back to them. I don't usually put my own input in there at all. I'm usually just the messenger, just delivering the pictures, but as messages. But sometimes I will get a strong feeling of what a picture may be. And if I do get that, then I will report that back to the client as well. But I always make a point of saying, this is your message. This is your message to interpret. It's really for that person, not necessarily for me. So it's a great tool and a great service. So if it's something that you're interested in, go to my website and check out the page. It's one of the services that I offer. But the write-up in there, even if it's not something you're interested in as a service, there is a kind of a brief description of what rock divination is all about. So you can go on there and check that out. And my website is www.shamamama, so it's SHAMA, shamanic.com, and just go to the services button, and it'll kind of show you everything I do. But this is one of my all-time favorites. So I hope that this made sense to you. If you have questions, if I've left you wondering about anything, type them into the little comment thing here, and I'll check and I'll answer your questions, okay? And if I've inspired you to go out and find a rock and do a divination for yourself, then that just makes my day, because that's what this is all about. So thank you for listening. I will see you again tomorrow. Namaste, be well, and I will see you later, okay? Bye. Oh, look at me. I don't know where my little cursor is. I haven't gone away yet. Okay, I'm really going now. Bye.